you going to tell me that Jude Bellingham isn't the best midfielder in the world? Who's better than him? Who? Pedri? Kevin De Bruyne? Rodri? Or Rodri after he won the Ballon d'Or?
Damn, that's cold.
It's as simple as this. If you don't think Jude Bellingham is the best at his position in the world, the best at what he does, the best in his craft, that tells me one of two things. One, you don't watch him play enough. And two, you're a Barcelona fan. Welcome to the Caroline Salami Show, everyone, and I'm super excited to get this episode out into the football world because when I played for the Canadian national team and I played Division I collegiate football, I was a midfielder. I started out as an attacking mid, and then I transitioned into a defensive mid, which I didn't like at the beginning, but then I realized that's the position where you see the ball the most, and I fell in love with it. So naturally, having been a midfielder, it's the position I love to watch the most. And not only watch, but I dissect it.
Get a life.
So with that being said, just a few hours ago, I finished watching Real Madrid versus Brest. Okay.
So immature.
I just finished watching Real Madrid versus Brest, and like I do after every single game, I am left in disbelief with how good Jude Bellingham is. Not even good, how great he is. Look at how good these stats are. You didn't even have to watch the game to know. You could just see these stats and know how dominant Jude was today against Brest.
I think that's pretty obvious.
But it's unfortunate because every single time I mention how good Bellingham's stats were, these are typically the comments I get. Let me get my papers here because I don't want to mess this one up. You're always judging midfielders by their goals, showing your actual football knowledge. I sense sarcasm. Whoa! But you know what? That's exactly my point, so thank you for bringing it up. I was a defensive midfielder, and I know so many defensive midfielders are watching this right now. We could have the game of our lives. We could outrun everyone. We could have completed every single pass, but we did the most thankless job out on the pitch that didn't get any recognition because at times, that comes with the territory of being a midfielder. If you don't get a goal or you don't get a game-winning assist, but you played balls to the wall, sometimes in the recap, they're missing your name.
That's right.
But that's my exact point with Jude Bellingham. He does all the thankless jobs, and he can score, and he can assist, and he can be the hero who scores the game-winning goal, and he revives Real Madrid back into the game. So in my opinion, when you put that all together, you know what you get? The most complete footballer in the world.
Period.
Going back to the game against Brest today, take his goal, for example. He started dribbling the ball at half, passes the ball, continues his run, puts himself in a goal-scoring position, right place at the right time, spatial awareness, boom, scores Real Madrid's second goal of the game. A very important goal, by the way. But then for me, what makes Jude Bellingham the best in the world isn't even the goals. It's what he does outside the goal. Because the player who just scored a goal could sit back and be like, you know what? I did my job for today. I'm on the score sheet. I'm going to be a player that they talk about in the post-game recaps. But you know what he does? Brest have the ball. They're going into Real Madrid's territory. Jude Bellingham is in the opposition's 18-yard box, and he starts his run back into Real Madrid's half, okay? Tell me how he side tackles this Brest player on the top of Real Madrid's 18-yard box. 18 to 18, box to box, makes the tackle like he's a damn center back. No one outworks Jude Bellingham. And that's what I respect the most. The goals, the assists, that's a bonus. He's a midfielder who can do it all. But when you watch him when he plays and how much work he does on and off the ball, he is unmatched. He scores goals like a striker, he passes balls like a midfielder, and he defends like a defender. What else do you want from this guy?
Absolutely nothing.
And you know what the craziest part about it for me is that he's doing this for the most iconic and legendary club in the world, the biggest club in the world. You heard David Beckham talk about it on his Netflix documentary. When he went to Real Madrid, the pressure is different. The whole world is on your shoulders. And he's doing this at the age of 21? 21? Players in the league who have been there their whole lives can't do what Jude Bellingham has done. And I know by now I have triggered plenty of Barcelona fans telling me, Caroline, back to the kitchen you go. How about Pedri? How about him? With all due respect, how about him? I think Pedri is a fantastic footballer. Actually, you know what? Roll the clip. As someone who loves and respects Real Madrid, I'm going to say this with my whole chest. Leave Pedri alone. This player has suffered injury day in, day out. Bad luck after bad luck after bad luck. And now he's finally healthy from his 495th injury. And not only is he healthy, but the way he's playing, I'm saying this as someone who loves Real Madrid. Let football enjoy Pedri. Let's not break his ankles and knee and leg every single game because, again, I'm cheering for this team, but I love watching this guy play. But if I'm building a team from scratch right now, not only is Jude Bellingham my #1 pick, but I'm building the entire team around him. Not Pedri, but Bellingham.
Facts.
Look at the stats between these two players right now. And to those of you who say Pedri's job isn't to score goals, okay, I get that. But look at Bellingham's assists. And not to mention collectively, Jude Bellingham has 20 goals and assists this season, and it is January. We are headed into February, and he has 10 goals, 10 assists, my friends. Pedri, with no disrespect, has 4 goals and 4 assists, a combined 8 goals and assists. Quick math.
Oh, she's smart, all right.
So yeah, Khalid, thanks for stopping by. It would be crazy to completely base a midfielder's performance off of goals. But when Jude Bellingham has 10 goals and 10 assists right now, and we are approaching the beginning of February, what's your case? Bro's doing both.
Case closed.
So this is just a PSA because no one in this world will gaslight me into thinking that Bellingham isn't the best midfielder in the world, and at times the best player in La Liga, and at times the best footballer in this world. But quick disclaimer, I want to be very clear that I think Pedri is amazing. I think he's a super talented, entertaining footballer full of finesse. He makes what he does look easy, like it flows. This is what I said in the video. I pray he stays healthy because to watch Pedri is to watch the beauty of football. But when you compare the two, in my opinion, at this moment in time, Jude Bellingham is clear. That's not saying Pedri isn't good at football or Pedri's not one of the best footballers in the world or in his position. That's just saying that Jude Bellingham clears him in many ways right now.
Can we still be friends?
And lastly, before I let you all go, look what Jude Bellingham did last season. Need I remind you, his first ever season in La Liga. He's an English footballer, 21 years old, comes out of Dortmund. I'm sure 80% of the football world was waiting for him to fail. He had so much to prove, so many eyes on him, and he could have easily crumbled. What did he do? Anything and everything but that. In his first season in La Liga, he won Player of the Year. Tell me how you do that if you're not the best midfielder in the world. In that season, 28 appearances, 19 goals, 6 assists. And it's not even about the stats. If you watch Jude in that first season, anytime Real Madrid needed a lifeline, if they were on life support, who came to the rescue?
So I thought we should have a CPR training class.
Jude Bellingham was the most clutch player on that team, and he didn't do it alone. But if Real Madrid needed a goal, if they needed an assist, if they needed a big defensive moment from him, he didn't falter. And again, for him to do this at the age of 20, 21, is absolutely insane. To think that we have another decade of Jude Bellingham to potentially find his prime and be even better than what we are witnessing is disgusting to think about in the best way possible. Hell yeah! Now look, before all of you come for me, I'm not saying Bellingham is the best midfielder in the history of midfielders. I grew up watching players like Kaká, Xabi Alonso, Xavi, Iniesta, Wesley Sneijder. You can even say Kevin De Bruyne, Modric. I understand the legacy of midfielders in football, but I think that Jude Bellingham has the potential to be the greatest footballer of all time. He may not be there yet, but right now, in this moment where you and I are sitting together talking about this, having this conversation, he is number one. And I say that with my whole chest.